Now, it's estimated that almost half the population of the entire county was in Roscommon to cheer on the side this afternoon. But could they defeat the defending champions? The commentator is Ger Canning.
First team coming out here are Mayo, and there's a big cheer for them. This is the ground, of course, in which they won the Connacht final last year. Now bidding for a 3 in a row, and the county hasn't managed that since the 50s. Well, if the welcome that Mayo got was polite and enthusiastic, just listen to this. Bridging a gap of 27 years. The 10th time that a Leitrim side has reached the Connacht final. Leitrim a boo, but can they get their second provincial honour? Time will tell. Irrespective of what happens this afternoon, Mickey Quinn has realised a life's ambition to play in the Connacht final. And for someone who began playing for Leitrim at the age of 17, has a chance of gaining just the county's second provincial title. On the team front, George Dugdale is fit and raring to go after an injury scare. As usual, he plays on the 40, and one of Leitrim's strongest lines with Quinn and Pádraig Kenny also involved. One switch from the 15 that finally saw off Galway is at corner forward. Here, Aidan Rooney, who replaced Barney Breen in Tuam, gets to keep the corner forward berth. Mayo's much-changed team in recent years still includes the towering figure of Liam McHale, the only link with the side that played in the 1989 All-Ireland final. An injury picked up recently in a challenge game with Cork has cleared up sufficiently, and he's going to play at full forward. There are two changes from the side that easily got over the impotent challenge of Sligo in Mayo's only previous challenge. Tony Morley and John Conmey get places in the forwards following disappointing performances 10 days ago by Ronan Golding and Kieran MacDonald in the under-21 clash, ironically, with Leitrim. One way or the other, Leitrim manager John O'Mahony is bound to come under the spotlight this afternoon. Having led Mayo to the All-Ireland final 5 years ago, he's brought his new charges to a first Connacht final for 27 years. Which is just one reason why the ever-popular Jack O'Shea may be feeling the heat. So many people are willing Leitrim to win, yet Jack has a job to do, and with the basically youthful outfit, there's a feeling that a Mayo 3 in a row would be quite an achievement. And it's Garda Inspector Mick Curley from Galway who starts his second successive Connacht final, and already, as you'll gather, some switches in positions. Mickey Quinn, for instance, has gone to midfield. As we watch Pat Fallon advance, looking for the first score of the match. Tapped in. Oh, it's a goal! A disastrous mistake. Well, goalkeeper and full-back really got in one another's way here. And a goal after about 20 seconds in the very first attack. Pat Fallon was probably going for a point, but that's where Seamus Quinn and Martin McHugh got their signals in a mix-up. And back by Pat Donoghue, Declan Darcy putting it forward towards Pádraig Kenny, who's yet to get into the match. Liam Conran's been on the ball a few times. Paul Kieran's moved just ahead of him here. Getting support here from Pádraig Kenny. That looks a better one. It raises a huge cheer. It's taken a while to come. But Pádraig Kenny from Alan Gales can always be depended upon to take his score. And it seems like Leitrim outnumber the Mayo followers about 2-1 here. This is where that attack was set up. And Pádraig Kenny was taking it away. In fact, the referee got on the wrong side of one of the Mayo players who was powerless to put in a challenge, and that helped. One back here well by Mickey Quinn, giving the leadership. Paul Kieran, dispossessed there well by Pat Holmes. Now Pat Fallon. And that's where the Leitrim defender just got one hand to it, and that was sufficient to keep it away. No more doing well. Mickey Quinn once again is picking up a lot of loose ball in midfield. Working down here towards Pádraig Kenny. Kenny putting the head down, making some headway. Getting well past Kevin Cahill, but the angle getting tight at all times. So the referee says pushed, and that's going to be a free in. So a chance of a second score. Anthony McGarry deemed guilty there of fouling Pádraig Kenny. And it's going to be a free kick from a more favourable position. Mayo penalised 13 metres, not getting back fast enough. So this is a very straightforward kick for Aidan Rooney, looking for his first point of the day. And it's Leitrim's second. And now there's just a point in it. Leitrim making a slow but steady recovery after that disastrous surrender of a goal after about 20 seconds. Very low scoring so far. Liam McHale slipping on the treacherous conditions. Seamus Quinn now coming more and more into the match, having recovered well. And George Dugdale. Leitrim looking for a first success for 67 years in the Connacht Championship. Nicely outside. Beautiful ball. Declan Darcy, look what a good position he took up here. The centre half-back and team captain was fouled inside there. So a free kick is the outcome. Great run through the centre there by the attack-conscious captain. They estimate here that 2 out of every 5 Leitrim native is here this afternoon. That's the equaliser, and it's Paul Kieran who's got it. May have missed an earlier one, but not this. So Leitrim made a full recovery now after that goal they give away so early in the game. Down to Liam McHale, a buzz of anticipation, on to Colin McMenamin. McMenamin trying to get it back to McHale, succeeds. Looking for just Mayo's second score. Very wide across. Down to John Conmee. On his championship debut, he strikes the upright. Leitrim living a little dangerously. Seamus Quinn taking it out. Taken very low indeed by Pádraig Kenny. Kenny seeing a good run across the line there by Aidan Rooney. Getting by Peter Butler's despairing lunge. Ian Conlon over there trying to make that his, succeeds. On his favourite right boot. Oh, it comes back off the post. Leitrim out of luck at one end, Mayo out of luck at the other. Now Gary Rowan. Oh, that's a dangerous challenge by Mickey Quinn. He'll get booked at least for that. A challenge on Kevin Cahill. And quite correctly, the name going into the book. And Mickey Quinn will be the first to appreciate that this was a very dangerous challenge. Pat Holmes. This time it's Seamus Quinn taking it out. Noel Moran. Just in over the head there of Aidan Rooney. Won back by Michael Coleman from Mayo. Now Kevin Staunton. Colin McMenamin. Remember, it's 3 points for Leitrim. Just 1 goal for Mayo. And the people who were saying in the week, in the build-up to this match, that Mayo hadn't been properly tested, well, their words vindicated so far. And that comes off the post again. Kevin Staunton out of luck. Liam McHale drilling it in, but outside and wide. An exciting passage of play. Well, the upright's been struck at either end quite repeatedly. That's Kevin Staunton's effort coming back down to safety. And that's where Fergal Reynolds was a little slow in closing down McHale. Pat Donoghue poised in there, jumping with his own man. His own man being Paul Kieran. Back to Declan Darcy. Remember the run he made some time ago? Trying to inspire his side once more. Michael Coleman just ahead of him. Pádraig Kenny breaking it down. Fed inside from Mickey Quinn. Can their most famous and most experienced player score? He can. Leitrim have got in front. It may be low scoring, but if they win the Connacht Cup, my goodness, how they'll celebrate. This was a great moment for Leitrim as Pádraig Kenny played that ball inside for Mickey Quinn to get away from a whole group of Mayo players, kick with accuracy and send them in front for the first time. Well, it's no more than Leitrim deserve to be in front at this stage. Noel Moran. Nice ball across to Aidan Rooney again. Nicely taken by Liam Conlon. Now can he put 2 between them? He can! That's a great kick. Liam Conlon. Well, it just about reflects the difference between the teams. And when you think that Mayo's goal really was the result of a gift, That's a great kick. They were in there in a huddle just a few minutes ago, the Mayo selectors considering their options with the half-time break just a few minutes away. Colin McMenamin setting up Pat Fallon, played most of this half at midfield rather than on the 40. Nicely out by Pat Donoghue. And Paula Kenny is restrained. The referee says that's going to be a free up. In terms of the chances created so far, Leitrim have created 15, taken 5 of those. Mayo created 8 chances and got just that one goal in the very first half minute. Paul Kieran's free in towards Colin McGlynn, trying to reach up for it there, but that's gone wide. Leitrim's 7th wide, Mayo with 4 during the first half. Mickey Quinn rising up for this again, broken down by Paul Kieran. Kieran showing tenacity. Up towards Colin McGlynn again. Picked it off the ground. That's going to be a free up. Taken quickly. Anthony McGarry towards Colin McMenamin. Waiting for Kevin O'Neill to come onto it. He's yet to make the kind of impact he made last season. Instead, it's Joe Honeyman and company who are making the impact. Liam Conlon now just went to ground, free in. Stumbled at the most inappropriate moment. This is a first half that's been dominated by Leitrim. No doubt about that. Paul Kieran just coming up to have a word there with Aidan Rooney. Both of them free takers as Michael Coleman makes his way back. Shaping up like Rooney will be the one to take it. Leitrim lead this match by double scores. A second point by Aidan Rooney. And once again, joyous celebration for the fans who've travelled here in their thousands, and that's the final piece of action of a first half. Mayo have been most disappointing, quite insipid. Leitrim playing a tenacious and spirited game. And listen to the roar of the crowd as they go in at half-time. The half-time score reads Leitrim 6 points, Mayo 1 goal. Badly put under pressure straight away. Be a free in. Colin McGlynn making his way inside. For Declan Darcy, you'll remember the great point he got here against Roscommon. Did it against Galway as well. John O'Mahony has entrusted him with many of the long-range kicks. They are now needing to keep their composure, keep their concentration. And that's a very good start to the second half. So Leitrim stretched their lead, and now they lead by 4 points. Jerry Flanagan put under pressure again, getting the assistance here of his young fullback Seamus Quinn. High challenge by Liam McHale. That's going to be a free out. Not a fair shoulder to shoulder. Comes off Corey Kenny. Waiting for it, Paul Kieran. Dropped in towards Liam Conlon, out to the ball first time. Aidan Rooney. Is this going to sail over the bar? It is! This is a great spell now for Leitrim football. Aidan Rooney's 3rd point. People who thought they'd never see it happen. 1967, they were trounced by Mayo by 20 points that day in the Connacht final. But right now, it's Mayo who are taking a bit of a pasting. Aidan Rooney, and you wonder now, have Mayo got the stomach for the fight? Gary Rowan trying to take it. Kevin Cahill appeared to be challenged. He was trying to pick that ball off the ground. The players who went off, by the way, are Tony Morley and John Conmey. Very players who were brought in the first place. Mayo really needing an early score now. John Casey, back to Liam McHale. Can he lead the way? Kevin Lydon. Again, will they take that one pass too many? McHale going for the point. This looks to be on its way. Oh, it comes down off the post, and the goalkeeper was fortunate enough. Kept his eye on it. And Mayo still struggling to get their 2nd score of the match. Martin McHugh came out, regathered, and that's where he was fouled, taking the ball out. Paul Kieran. Tentatively racing across for it, down to Noel Moran, partially blocked down by Golding. The jersey was tugged there. Jersey of Pat Fallon, being dragged by Noel Moran. Kevin Lydon's kick, aimed in towards Liam McHale. The big man was being pushed, and it's going to be a free in. So here's the chance now for Mayo to get their second score in the 5th minute of the second half. Liam trying to rally the troops. It's going to be Kevin O'Neill who will take it. It's taken a long time, a full 40 minutes to get a second score. Fallon. Michael Coleman attempting to pick this one up. Ball just going astray, however. Aidan Rooney fouled. Vital decisions going Leitrim's way. All the Mayo players, I think, in fairness, were attempting to get back, in particular Gary Rowan, when that was hit against him by Aidan Rooney. Nonetheless, it's Mayo are penalised an additional 13 metres. Peter Butler still making his point to referee Mick Curley. Kicking towards the graveyard end of McHale Park. Or Dr. Hyde Park, I should say. And that's over. Declan Darcy, his second pointed free. Very definitely in Roscommon. So Leitrim now doing nicely, leading by 9 points to 1-1. But it's all Leitrim. They've been the better team so far. Now, can they maintain their approach work and their discipline and their sheer commitment? Mickey Quinn. Kicking with accuracy and over. A second point for Mickey Quinn, drifting into a wonderful position. But when you think that over the last 17 years he's only been on 8 championship-winning teams, 3 in the last 2 years, it indicates the kind of career he's had. This is where he was placed beautifully and turned around the pivot and the kick. Lee McHale way back. This is how difficult as Mayo have been experiencing it this afternoon, having to dig deep and forage to gain possession. Pat Fallon. Players waiting. Kevin O'Neill here. With a solo run, inevitably he will turn onto that left boot. Wasted possession. Nothing really going right for Jack O'Shea's charges. Pat Donohue's kick, again targeting Liam Conlon. Quick change of direction. Free kick. The direction the referee allows an advantage. This time it is going to be a free kick. Kick to Leitrim. The winners here, of course, will play the winners of next Sunday's Leinster final between Dublin and Meath. Michael Coleman has been replaced, or has been booked, I should say. Liam McHale, by the way, has now gone to midfield as Aidan Rooney shapes up to get his 4th point of the day. A kickable position for a right-footed kicker. Should be, and indeed it is. It's looking like a glory, glory day for lovely Leitrim. But still, what a long way to go. And anything can happen in this game of football. Ronan Golding to Liam McHale. Good run across here by the other substitute, John Casey. Taking Seamus Quinn out of position. Casey showing why he's so highly rated in Mayo. Back to Pat Holmes. Peter Butler. Nicely in. Goal chance stopped on the line brilliantly. Well, Conor McMenamin had a glorious chance. It's going to be a free out. That was a great save by Martin McHugh. Heroes all in the Leitrim colours. McMenamin, the one who forced the save from this young goalkeeper. This is that ball right across from Butler to McMenamin. He was outside the small rectangle and the goalkeeper got down well. comes off the chest of Mickey Quinn. And the Leitrim winning by 11 points to 1-1. Once again, it's John Casey. He's looked a lot sharper than many of the Mayo players who were in from the outset. Free to Mayo. Referee just indicating wide. So Mayo trying to eat into the 7-point lead that Leitrim enjoy. McHale. Great defending. Absolutely wonderful defending. That's belted out by Fergal Reynolds. Down to Aidan Rooney. And Mayo now will have to roll up the sleeves as never before to try and get back into this match. There's still time if they're good enough. But they've been giving away second best throughout this match to Leitrim. Kevin O'Neill. Blocked down brilliantly there by Declan Darcy. Once again, it's Joe Honeyman. Mickey Quinn now. An all-star a few years ago, just after Leitrim won the All-Ireland B Championship. But this is the big one. This is the one they want to win in the West. Liam Conlon's kick. And the less said about that, the better. Former Star Colleges player with St. Mel's. Just a hint of a smile there on the face of John O'Mahony. What a wonderful job he's done. A tough Connacht campaign. Taken under pressure here by George Dugdale. Fouled. Very quickly taken. Good thinking there by George Dugdale to Pádraig Kenny. That's a point! Kenny's second point. But the product of some very, very alert thinking by George Dugdale. Once again is Ronan Golding. Kevin Staunton now. Trying to open it up inside here. Casey from Charlestown. Looking for just a third score for Mayo. And that's dropped over. Kieran MacDonald has done it from Crossmolina, getting their third score of the day, but only a goal and 2 points now against 12 points for Leitrim. Kevin Cahill, wrong-footed that time by Colin McGlynn. Poor pass, however, taken away by Peter Butler. Liam McHale from Michael Coleman. Pat Holmes, the team captain. Butler has started the move. The falling body there of Kevin O'Neill. Mayo's free kick. Taken quickly by Kevin Staunton. On to John Casey, back to Staunton once again. Well, they need a goal. Point will hardly do. MacDonald who got that last score for them. Keeping the point of the attack in the direction of the Leitrim goal. And that's kicked over to very modest applause by Ronan Golding, his first point. Martin McHugh tried to pick out Mickey Quinn, who made his championship debut against Mayo all those years ago, well, back in 1978 to be precise. Cleared a foul there by Declan Darcy. Colin McMenamin. Kevin Staunton into Liam McHale. Here's a chance. Oh, that's a penalty surely. John Casey taken down. A penalty for Mayo. This is where Liam McHale placed the number 17 in the clear. Poor marking. And if this goes in, there'll be only 3 points between them. It's a great save by Martin McHugh. Well, a great save, and the goal counts. Punch back in. There's just 3 points between them. It may be Kevin O'Neill who got it. Take a look at this again. Goalkeeper moved smartly to his left-hand side. Ball came back out from an oblique angle and was fisted in. Mayo still in injury time, looking for a goal that might take this match to a replay. Kieran MacDonald firing it in, but just over the bar when it needed to be under. his second point, so 2 between them. Over a minute of injury time has been played. Still there's time. This is Barney Breen. And Breen who just came in, and that's going to be a free in. A free in for Leitrim. This is the sweetest day that so many of these Leitrim fans can ever remember. Players are already congratulating one another. Rooney kicks. That's gone wide, and it's all over, and Leitrim are the Connacht champions. And John O'Mahony has done it. He did it with his native Mayo, and now he's done it with Leitrim. Just the second time the county has ever won the provincial title. 67 years ago, they last did it. My goodness, what scenes of jubilation we're seeing here. They won it in style. There were only 2 points between them at the end. The full-time score, Leitrim 12 points, Mayo 2 goals and 4. The day belongs to lovely Leitrim. PJ McGrath, the chairman of the Connacht Council, making the presentation to Declan Darcy. 1927, 1994, there'll be Leitrim people all over Ireland, perhaps all over the world, with tears in the eyes, celebrating the return of the Connacht Championship. The cup goes to lovely Leitrim. And there's Tom Gannon, the 2 captains who have led this Leitrim side. Tom now 95 years of age. There's the cup, it goes back. What a wonderful moment this is. John, it must have been a very emotional occasion for you this afternoon out there.
Well, it was a tremendous occasion for Leitrim, really, Ger. I was absolutely thrilled for all of the players and county board officials and supporters, and they've waited a long time for this. There'll be many heartaches along the way, and I'm delighted that everybody's going home with a smile on their face this evening.
I remember the night the draw was made in Dublin. You were there. At the time you had to put a brave face in it. Deep down, what were you thinking?
Well, it was very difficult to keep the composure on a particular night like that, because I said, I think my comment on that night was so much for the open draw. But having said that, when we sat down after Christmas about it and decided to plan on it, I decided, you know, everybody together decided, county board, players, selectors, the whole lot, we decided that if we were to win it, we'd have to win it the hard way. And I suppose that makes it all the more valuable to everybody that was involved now at this stage.
We knew going in at half-time we were a few points up, and we knew that the first score afterwards in the second half would be vital. Because psychologically I think Mayo was a little bit fragile, and we knew we had to take it to them in the second half and show that we meant business, and we did that extremely well. We faded a bit in the middle of the second half, but we held out in the end, and that was important.
They were a goal up after about 20 seconds, and we really put our heads down from there on and got stuck into them, and we had 6 points without reply. So the team showed tremendous character after getting such a blow early on.
You seem to be enjoying yourself out there, particularly in the first half. You were dominating around midfield. You look like a fellow who was saying, well, this is my big day and I'm going to take it.
Yeah, well, we done a lot of hard work for this, all right. We trained very hard, and I was in good form today, and things went okay for me on the day.
Just a small little bit of jitters for the last 10 minutes, and maybe just lost a little bit of control. We were working very, very hard, and just felt it maybe slipping a bit away from us, more on nerves than anything else. But I think Declan picked up the reins for us again in the centre half back position and carried it for us then.
Yes, a great day for the people of Leitrim, and every congratulations to John O'Mahony and his players, and indeed we look forward to seeing them in Croke Park in a few weeks' time. Well, now here are the statistics from that game. There was a great disparity in the number of wides by the 2 sides. Leitrim had 14, Mayo just 5, but that says more about the paltry few chances that Mayo had in the course of the 70 minutes. There was a total of 60 frees in really a poor match, almost 1 a minute that was, with Mayo giving away 37 and Leitrim 23. Well, now as for scoring chances, Leitrim got 12 from 34 attempts. That's a 35% success rate. Mayo just 6 from 19 chances, and that's a 32% success rate. Although success might not be the operative word in that particular case. By the way, the phone calls are coming in hot and heavy, and that's great to see from you. And from very far away as well, we've had one which says, would you say hello to the many Leitrim fans who are watching in the Ferncliff in the Catskill Mountains in New York. A reminder about our phone number here on the programme, 0164 3535. That's the number on the Sunday game. Well, now, the last time that Leitrim were in the Connacht final, by the way, that was 1967. Colm O'Rourke's brother Fergus was in the side, and I suspect there might be just a little smile on the O'Rourke camp tonight over that.
Oh, they certainly will. That day they were beaten heavily. I don't think it was all his fault, but I think today makes up for all the disappointments of the past, because I think it's a fantastic day for Leitrim people. in Leitrim, in Dublin, in London, and all over the world. I'm sure there'll be a lot of tears shed in different parts of the world tonight.
Sure. Your brother, actually, Fergus, was down there today, I gather.
Oh yes, there would have been an O'Rourke representation supporting Leitrim today. I think that it was the least we could do.
They were fully deserving of their win today. I mean, there was nothing flukish about this. They were by far the better team.
Yes, very much the better team, and of course should have won it much easier. They shouldn't have been hanging on at the end. But I think the fact that they recovered from that early goal showed the tremendous spirit and determination that's in this side. If it was some years ago and that happened to Leitrim, they were likely to collapse. But today, as soon as the goal went in, and it's a bit of a mix-up here between Seamus Quinn and Martin McHugh, you know, the goalie would be supposed to call probably in a situation like that. Nobody knows. Maybe Seamus Quinn didn't hear him. And it was a terrible start to give away. And in fairness to Seamus Quinn, he recovered quite well from that bad mistake.
Yeah.
But again, as I say, if that happened some years ago, Leitrim would have been down and out. Today, they just fought back and kept fighting on to the very end.
It was an extraordinary situation for Leitrim. The one thing that they didn't want was to make a start like that, and yet there it was. And in fact, it might have helped them in odd ways.
Yeah, well, this Leitrim team in the matches so far against the two against Galway and the one against Roscommon, they seem to fight back every time they went behind. And I'd say they know themselves at this stage that no matter what happens, no other player on the team is going to give in. And it gives a great confidence to every player when they know that. So, as Mickey Quinn said, everybody just put their head down and they kept battling away, and they showed tremendous courage and determination.
You were making a note there, Colin, and telling me that apart from that goal, it was something like 60 minutes before Mayo actually scored from play.
Yes, the Mayo forward line in general, I suppose, the best one could say about them is they were pathetic in their attempts of scoring. And they went 1 hour's football without a point from play, and that came from one of their subs. So, like, none of the original forwards that they had scored a point from play at all. The 3 points from play actually came from 3 substitutes who were introduced by Jack O'Shea. So it was an indictment of the whole Mayo play that they weren't able to get 1 point from play for a full hour.
They did get a second goal, of course, that strange penalty as it turned out, and yet